Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Air pollution in India. So real GDP is given as 8,750 billion in 2016, and 2017 9,363.5 billion. Current account deficit is percentage of GDP minus 0.7 and minus 1.2. Right? So we know what current account
All
is
right.
now. What is current account? What do you mean by current account deficit?
Ma'am, the current account looks after
It's
the exports and imports of the country.
yes,
Yes,
exports and
DOT
imports.
plus the exactly right. As a car production 3.7 million and 4 million, it has increased. As India
Mm-hmm.
increases its output, wow, Mukund's country, no? I didn't read India.
Yes, ma'am.
As India increases its output, colors up, no, now, if you hear India. As India increases its output, it creates more pollution. Obviously, when the output increases, pollution is increasing. Its government encourages economic growth by promoting investment and free trade. Right? It is
Mm-hmm.
considering cutting taxes, spending more on education, lowering import tariffs, and removing some import quotas. So that means they are. India was actually like they did not allow more imports because they were afraid of the domestic industries being affected, especially the infant industries getting affected through imports. But now it has become, now they have opened up actually. They are also importing due to the comparative advantage. Okay. The
Yes.
Indian government intervenes in its economy for a number of reasons, including to reduce pollution. The causes
Mm-hmm.
of pollution include vehicles and private and public sector factories which emit harmful gases.
All right.
Right, include vehicles and private and public sector factories. So actually India is becoming having higher upper, I mean higher middle income population is increasing in India, right? So when the now this is 2016 17, but I'm telling the current context for you to keep you updated. So then people lower the middle income people are purchasing more cars and spending on entertainment a lot, right? Because
Yes,
the
ma'am.
income level has grown. Okay. Yeah. The causes of pollution include, okay, with the reductions in the cost of producing cars and rising income, more cars are being produced and purchased in India
Yeah.
because they're domestically producing.
Mm-hmm.
Producers and car drivers base their decision on just their private cost. So
Okay.
car has a lot of external cost involved. No, agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Some farmers burn their fields after harvesting to increase the growth of their next crop, even though their action causes pollution. Also, some owners of mines do not take sufficient care to ensure that minerals and materials do not leak into local water supplies. As well as affecting pollution, the relative Hi, Abigail.
Hi, Miss.
We started reading the case, my dear. Yeah. So follow up. It's about air pollution in India. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Some farmers, okay. Then some owners of mines do not take sufficient care to ensure that minerals and metals do not leak into local water supplies. As well as affecting pollution, the relative size of the primary sector can influence average income as shown. Right, so these types of
Yes.
questions are quite regular in question number 1. Okay, so what I advise my children to do is when this type of a table or a graph is given with two variables, look at the connection between the both the variables. Okay, now if you see the primary sector output percentage of GDP, Philippines 30% of GDP, right?
Yes.
And the GDP per head, that is
Uh-huh.
primary sector output as a percentage of GDP. 30% of the GDP is primary sector, and their GDP per output is the lowest. Agree? And
Yes.
US, 1% of GDP is only the primary sector. That means very small primary sector they have, and their GDP is high. So if you rank, this is first, and this is also first. So what is the connection you can write? We'll look into the second. So this is 3% of the GDP, and the second GDP per head leading is Spain. Agree, my dear?
Yes.
Yes. Third, Argentina, 8% of the GDP, and they are the third GDP rank. So what we can see is when the primary sector is increasing in proportion, the GDP per head keeps on decreasing. Agree? Yeah. And
Yes,
this is
Miss.
this is the fourth, and this again is the fourth. This is the fifth, but here there is a switch. Usually that's how they give in many examinations, right? So, and here 6, and this becomes 6. So other than India and Philippines, the other countries follow the same order. When when the primary sector is of very low percentage of GDP, the GDP per head will be quite high. What do you think is the reason for this, my dear? What do you think is the reason for this?
Because the wages of
Exactly.
primary sector workers.
Yes, primary sector, the workers, the wages of the workers are quite less. Also, the primary sector's output value is quite less, no?
Yes.
Yeah, because additional value is less there than the tertiary. Tertiary is the highest value added sector. Agree?
Yeah.
So therefore, the GDP generated from the tertiary sector is much higher than the primary sector. I hope that's clear to Mukund and Abigail, yeah?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. To reduce pollution, the Indian government subsidizes bus travel. It also reduces buses to run on natural gas rather than on more polluting diesel and petrol. Reduced pollution can attract more foreign tourists. Foreign tourism and changes in foreign exchange rate affect the current account of the country's BOP. Yes, agree or not? Foreign tourism and the changes in forex
Yes.
will increase and decrease the demand and supply. It has been predicted that India's foreign exchange rate is likely to increase in the future. So they're expecting it to appreciate in the future. So for it to appreciate means what? The demand for the Indian currency should increase.
Yeah.
Agree? So demand for Indian currency
Yeah.
increasing means Indian exports should increase. Yeah?
Yes,
Yes,
Miss.
ma'am.
Perfect. Right. So can we do a timed answering? You understood the case? You want to go through it again? Shall I make it into 2-page? Just skim through? Do you want to do
Yes,
it?
Miss. Just can you make it to 2-page?
Yeah. I assume you can see it. Yeah.
Yes.
Could you?
Miss,
Yes. Perfect.
will we let our answers in chat?
Uh, um, I'm thinking now, if you write it in your notebook, how will you share it? Is there a way that you can share all 3 of you immediately?
We could always just have a discussion after a while.
Yeah. Yes. So what we can do is you write your answer in your notebook and then we will have a discussion. Is that fine?
Yes, Miss.
Yeah. Mukund, what about you? Do you agree
Yes,
to
ma'am.
it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Perfect. Right. So first of all, you will take 2 minutes or no, 3 minutes from now on to skim through the case again. Okay. Will you do that? So question 1, 2, and 3. Right. You can take 5 minutes. A, B, C. Okay.
Okay.
A, B, C, 5 minutes.
Yes,
Right.
Miss. To
Yes,
calculate the economic growth rate, is it the 2017 year divided by 2016 year? Then what else?
The growth rate is how much it has increased. So you have to see the increase. Okay. Increase in GDP. Agree? And divided by the previous GDP. That is 2016 GDP.
So it's 2017 GDP divided by 2016
No,
GDP.
darling, the difference of these two divided by 2016 multiplied by 100.
Okay, thank
Agree?
you.
Identify 2 methods of protection from imports. What have you mentioned? Import protections, protection from for the firms. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What have you mentioned? Abigail, Mukund, Lily. Yeah.
We're discussing B first.
Uh,
Or-
okay. I thought already. Okay. Economic growth. We didn't do that. Okay. I thought
Yes.
I told Abigail. So right. So what is
yes.
the answer there? 9,362.5 minus 8,750 divided by 8,750 into 100.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I see.
So what is your
7.
answer there?
7.
7%.
7.
Perfect. Good. Identify two methods of protection. So here we are talking about
Barrier.
import.
Yeah.
Yeah. So from
Tariffs and
tariffs,
quotas.
quotas. Perfect.
From the
State why India is a mixed economy. Why is India a mixed economy?
Because they,
What is it?
no, ma'am, because India has both the private sector and the public sector involved in production process of goods and services.
Exactly.
So,
Yes, India.
yeah.
Proceed.
No.
Yeah.
Yes, so hence they
Yeah.
both look into production goods and services.
Exactly. So they say the government intervenes in the economy for to reduce pollution. That means there is the government interference, and the private sector only produces the cars. Yeah. So there are private production happening, plus the government intervenes and looks into the damage to the environment.
Yes.
Agree? Yeah.
Mhm.
And it also subsidizes mainly that in the case they talk about pollution. Agree? Yes. So I hope your answer went around that. Okay. So now we are slowly stepping into bigger questions. Explain why external cost causes market failure. Explain why external factor. What can you say? External factor causes market failure.
Okay.
External
So
cost.
market failure is defined by the inefficient distribution or allocation of goods and services, or when goods and services are not allocated properly. And external costs are the
So
effects.
hold on, Lily. Let me interrupt. So market failure is as a result of allocative inefficiency and productive inefficiency. Right? So use the technical terms. Allocative inefficiency is when demand doesn't meet the supply curve, not at equilibrium. Okay. And productive inefficiency is you don't operate on the PPC. That means you have not utilized the resources efficiently. Understood? Yeah. Is that clear to you? All of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So market failure happens when there is productive inefficiency and allocative inefficiency, right? Productive inefficiency is when you don't operate on the PPC. Allocative inefficiency is when you don't operate at the equilibrium. Okay? Right. So then what is external cost next?
Ma'am, external costs, external costs.
Cost happens when someone's actions hurt other people.
Yes, it affects.
It's the effects of a good or service on a third party.
Exactly, on a third party, right? So external cost means it is a effect. It's a harmful effect. It's a negative effect, right? Because there can be external benefit also now. So we are talking about external cost. So better indicate it's a harmful, disadvantageous effect. Is that clear to you? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, and it causes overconsumption or overproduction. Yeah. It causes a negative effect on a third party, which results in a overconsumption or overproduction. Agree, my dear? Yes. So because when you're talking about the car production in this situation, what happens? you are not considering all the cost because there is cost incurred by the external party that is not incorporated. Therefore, you are over consuming. Agree? So when you're over consuming, what happens? Pollution. The other party is getting affected. So you're not utilizing your resources in the most efficient manner. Yeah, misallocation of resources. Understood, my dear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, I hope you included all that. Yeah. Or a demand and supply diagram to show the effect of a decrease in cost of production on the market for cars. Draw a demand and supply diagram. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes. So when the cost of production decreases, it doesn't affect the demand curve. Demand curve remains the same. That means it doesn't shift the demand curve, right? But your supply curve
Right.
will increase. Yeah. Yes or
Yeah,
no?
shift right.
Yes, miss.
It will shift to the right, which results in the price and the quantity increasing, price decreasing and the quantity increasing. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
is it
miss.
clear? Yes. So labeled axis, right? And maybe 1 or 2 lines, just explain what it is, what you
Okay.
have drawn, that's all. Okay, to avoid
All right.
risk, right? Well labeled diagram. Can we move to the next?
Yes, miss.
Yes.
Analyze the relationship between the size of the country's primary sector output and GDP per head. Now didn't we discuss that? Analyze the
Yes, miss.
relationship between the primary sector output and the GDP per head. So what can you say there, my dear?
We can just discuss this. We don't have to write it down, or we don't have to take time to prepare.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, we can
So,
just discuss it. No, since we already discussed
for
it.
for questions like these, I got a tip to always point out the exception.
Yes, exactly. You have to always state the exception.
Yes. So,
Yes.
we can see from US to India that there is a typical trend that the primary sector output percentage increases as the GDP per head decreases. So again, this may be because of the low wages for primary sector workers
Okay.
and the typically low supply of primary sector goods.
Exactly. Low value of supply. Very good.
Yes. So
Yes.
this trend is broken or not shown in the Philippines, where even though the primary sector output percentage is larger than India, the GDP per head is also larger.
Larger than India. Perfect.
Mhm.
Yes. That is what. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You have something more to say?
Yes.
Continue.
Do we have to explain the exception, miss?
Not
Or
explain, just
suggest
stating
why?
would be enough. No,
Okay.
just stating would be enough. Yeah. Right. So this is usually it is aligning with the trend of a higher GDP, lower primary sector. That is the usual pattern which happens. But the exception is this. Why a usual pattern? Because of the output value being higher and the wages being higher. Clear? Abigail and Mukund, do you agree, my dear, with the
Yes,
explanation?
ma'am. Yeah.
Yes? You want
Yes,
to
ma'am.
add to it? Do you want to add to it, my dear?
No, ma'am. So we can let the only exception here is Philippines, because normally we can see as there is an increase in primary sector output, the GDP per head decreases, but over there in Philippines it is increasing as the highest number of primary sector output is produced by Philippines. So since it should be less than India, it is more. So that is one exception over there.
Exactly. Exactly. Very good. Perfect. Right. This is the benefit, the beauty of teamwork. No? Yeah. Superb. Right. So can we move to the next? Abigail, can we move
Yes,
it? Move to the next? Yes. Perfect.
yes,
Discuss discuss whether or not increasing subsidies given to bus travel would reduce pollution in India. So will increase in subsidies actually reduce pollution in India? So discuss means you have to write for the statement, against the statement. So maybe you have not enough of time to write a paragraph, but just can you jot down a few points? Let's see how far you can
Yes.
think. Yeah, just a few points, huh? Jot down on both the sides, for and against, for the statement, against the statement. Jot down a few points, and then because we definitely don't have time to formulate the answer, yeah, but we can make a good discussion, yeah. The question one more time. Uh, Discuss whether or not increasing subsidies given to bus travel would reduce pollution in India. What can you say, my dear?
Um, with increased people riding buses, there will be a decreased people riding cars and motorcycles, which can decrease the amount of vehicles in the roads, so that'll decrease the pollution. And with a decrease in demand for riding cars and motorcycles, there will be the companies will produce lesser amounts of cars and motorcycles since most people wouldn't use it. And so the pollution from factories that produces cars and motorcycles will also decrease. However, since buses are getting subsidized, the demand for buses will increase, leading to an increase in productions to make more buses, which can be the same thing as increasing as producing cars, which can also still increase pollution. And nowadays, there are also electric cars, which won't cause as much pollution since it doesn't cause any air pollution, while buses will cause a lot of air pollution, and so it might not make any difference.
Perfect. Right. Any other points to it? Yeah.
I'll just read what I wrote.
Okay.
So subsidies allow for a decrease in operating expenses, which may result in lower bus fares and improved bus quality due to R&D. This may increase the demand for buses and subsequently lower its demand for its car competitor, which reduces gas emissions on average. It may also increase the number of buses in differing bus routes, which will appeal to more people and again increase the demand. However, it may not necessarily decrease the demand for cars and other transportation. So it is not guaranteed that less gas emissions are put out. And say if more buses are produced due to R&D, the buses in use may produce the same emissions due to the high demand. Plus, there are substitutes such as trains and electric cars that produce less emissions, as Abigail said. And there are also many other factors for pollution that aren't just transportation.
Perfect. What about Mukund?
Yes, ma'am. So increasing, I am mentioning that increasing subsidies to bus travel would reduce the prices for bus tickets charged to the general public, and that may result in increased demand for the bus travel, and that can again lead to reduce pollution in India. Moreover, increasing subsidies would result in a reduced average cost of production for the bus producers, leading to economies of scale for them. So hence, because of that, they can carry forward the prices in the form of lower prices to consumers to make it available. So that would create an incentive for the people who can't afford to travel in cars and others to travel in public transport to reduce the emissions. So, however, increasing subsidies is not an
Wait,
option
hold
for.
on. Mukund, let me interrupt. Did you speak about affordability? Did you
Yeah.
say the people who can't afford? But why are you speaking about affordability when it is about pollution? Those are the people who anyway have to use the bus travel, no?
Yes,
whether
yes,
it is
yeah.
subsidized or not, because so don't include that point, my dear. Okay, it's not relevant to the answer, to the question. Clear?
Right. Okay.
Is
So,
it
so
clear?
instead of
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah, so instead I can tell that, so we can introduce pollution to attract more foreign tourists. So as they have mentioned
Yeah.
over here. So,
Okay.
however,
Mm.
the producers of buses can exploit economics of scale and still charge higher prices to the consumers. So,
Mm.
which may demotivate them to choose bus travel, therefore increasing the pollution and leading to lower life expectancy for people. Um, Moreover, foreign tourism can decrease as there is increased pollution, which can reduce the investments and the GDP of India.
Okay. But right, that's okay. Discuss whether or not. So always, like, your points are good, but you are deviating a little from the
Yeah,
question,
a little
Mukund.
bit. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So on and off when you're reading now, you are making that mistake now. So go to the question, read the question, and come back to your answer again. Because the
Okay.
moment you deviate, all irrelevant points will come up there. So how
Yes,
much ever
ma'am.
you write, it's not going to fetch you marks.
Okay.
Right? Is that clear? Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So I will add more information to that. So here we are talking about subsidies. So when we talk about subsidies to bus travel, when we
Yeah.
subsidize the bus travel, there's always an opportunity cost. You should have used it on education or healthcare. Agree or not? So
Yes.
again, subsidy, right? So you should have used it on education and healthcare, which would better educate people and keep people safe from pollution. Yeah.
I see.
Yes or no? Yes. And also now they are speaking in the case about rising income levels now in India. Yes or no?
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
So when the income levels are rising, whether it's bus travel or car travel or whatever travel, it's going to rise. Everything
Yeah.
is going to rise.
Yes.
Yep. So whether you subsidize or not, even the car travel will also rise parallelly because the income level is increasing. Agree, my
Okay.
dear?
Yes.
Yeah. So always think of points where you can connect it to the case because it's a four-level question of the application is very important from the
Yeah.
case. Is that clear?
Okay.
Do you all agree with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Lily, what about you?
Sorry?
Do you agree, my dear? Are you okay with
Yes,
the
miss.
points? Taro? Yes. Okay, good. Discuss whether or not India is likely to experience a deficit on the current account of its balance of payments in the future. So it's kind of an open question, but only India is taken from the case. So they are basically just asking about whether they going to experience a deficit on the current account of its BOP in the future. So for the statement, against the statement. A few points, please. Maybe a few minutes. Yeah. With someone. Discuss whether or not India is likely to experience a deficit on the current account of its BOP. Right. So can we get the points from Mukund?
Yes, ma'am. So,
Yeah.
India may be likely to experience a deficit on the current account, as we can
Mm-hmm.
see that, and from the current account deficit has worsened from 2016 2017. That could be due to increased imports, due to
Yeah.
a depreciation in the foreign exchange rate. So because of that,
Okay.
making import prices cheaper, so thereby increasing
Mm-hmm.
imports and reducing exports.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, since India may be reliant on some countries for some products which they might
Mm-hmm.
not be specialized in, so because of that, they may still um, have to import some products to India to sell them or to increase the
Okay.
GDP. So even if it increases GDP also, it leads to a more person current account for India in the future.
Okay. Perfect. So you are only speaking one-sided. What about the other side? It's a discussion question.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, however, however, they may not experience a deficit as
Hmm?
India, as they may be reliant on some no, as they may be they may be dependent, they may be independent in some
Hmm?
sectors like the primary sector, um,
Hmm?
which can produce more output. So because
Hmm?
of that, some countries may be reliant on India for the primary sector production. So that can
Hmm?
increase exports in the future, therefore leading to a better current account position than the previous ones.
Hmm?
Moreover,
Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm?
so moreover, there could be India can increase the taxes on certain
Hmm?
products, on certain demerit goods
Hmm?
and pollutions and
Hmm?
pollution permits by individuals and companies. So they can increase the
Hmm?
tax revenue, and that
Hmm?
may not also, or they can increase the taxes or import duties on imports also. So they
Hmm?
can increase the tax revenue. Therefore, the people will be less likely to import more, and they can use
Hmm?
this revenue to export, to produce more goods and services and export it, therefore leading to a better current account position.
Okay, perfect. Right. That's a good answer. Then Abigail?
India is most likely to experience a deficit on its current account since India lowers import tariffs and removes import quotas, meaning that the
Hmm?
imports will be really cheap. And
Hmm?
since imports also have better quality items than the things they sell in India, the people in India might want to rather buy the imports rather than the exports in India, since
Hmm?
there might be better quality and things that India doesn't sell, the imports may have. And India is also really reliant on its primary sector since 18% of the output
Hmm?
is from the primary sector. And so India might be lacking in its tertiary and secondary sector, and so they might get those um, products for those sectors from imports.
Hmm?
However, India might also not experience a deficit on its current account since um, the GDP per head in India is really low, so not everyone can like afford all the imports even though it's cheap because it might still be expensive for them.
Hmm. Okay. Right. Good. What about Lily? Have you done your answer?
Um, yeah, I've written a couple points.
Yes.
This is a struggle topic of mine, but I tried my best. Okay, so first of all, supply side policies like tax cuts and spending on education will reduce barriers to entry. Um, MNCs may settle in India, and exports may become cheaper, which increases the demand and increases the current account deficit. Um, the cho-
Wait, hold
the
on. Increase for exports, demand for exports, you said.
oh if supply side policies are implemented, then
Okay.
um there then the GDP per head may increase, which will increase the demand for imports. Okay.
Increase the demand for imports.
Yes.
Okay,
All
right.
right. Um, additionally,
So if hold
mhm,
on, Lily, hold on. You're talking about GDP increasing. GDP means local production increasing.
yes,
So when local production is increasing, you don't say income level is increasing, you say
I
GDP
see.
is increasing, yeah? So when
All right.
GDP is increasing, why would you want imports when there are local domestic industries itself producing?
Um, I know this, but the wording, it's because it may be more luxury, like luxury goods.
Yeah, so that you have to,
All
you can't
right.
just, yeah, this is a blank point. So this
Okay.
doesn't increase imports, right? What you
Okay.
have written definitely doesn't increase imports. It
Mhm.
reduces imports rather. So you can use that as a
Okay.
point for not resulting in a deficit. Clear?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Um, plus, its consideration of lowering tariffs and quotas on imports will lower the cost of importing goods,
Mm.
which will increase the quantity demanded and may move towards a surplus. Also, as Mukund said, there is a trend where the current account deficit as percentage of GDP is worsened, which may be exhibited in the next years. I also wrote about the primary sector reliance, but I wrote that as there is a high percentage of primary sector output, there may be higher exports on primary goods.
Yeah, higher exports on primary goods, but primary sector fetches very low value, no, my dear.
I see.
Yeah. So how much ever that's the depiction of the graph as well. A larger percentage of primary sector fetches a very low GDP. So comparatively, see just a fraction of GDP. So you increasing the primary sector is not going to bring you any gain to your GDP. There should be value addition. Okay. Right. So value addition means what? You should invest in your capital equipment, the secondary sector, to convert these primary goods into some value addition and then export, then you will get some value. Clear?
All right.
Yeah. And none of you spoke about car production. The entire case was about car production. Why is that? They said the cars are being produced at very low cost. Yeah. Yes. And that's the reason why there are more cars out on the roads. Yeah. So when that is happening, so you should mainly speak about the car production. No? Car production has increased. So this would have the production of cars can lead to export of cars. Yeah. So export of cars fetches very big for the GDP. Agree? So this may not result in a deficit. Yeah. Other way around, it could happen. It could reduce the deficit rather. Agree? Is that clear?
All right.
Because they are producing a lot of cars. See, you can see that it has increased from 3.7 to 4 million. Yeah. So three of you did not mention on that. So that's what now the case should be always related. If you pick from the case and then write, those points are more fetches you a lot of marks than just going around the mulberry bush, just common points, then giving common points, fetch something small even from the case and then go around that point. That will fetch you a lot of marks, especially when it connects the application analysis. Understood?
Okay.
Is that clear? Yes. Okay, right. So we are done with the question number 2. We